Good evening, everybody. After analyzing with the medical doctors, a surgery can be done. For that reason, Marc will stop after this Grand Prix.
I'm not enjoying. I cannot ride like I want. I don't know the time. The moment to do is now, if we can come back soon, but no race.
Here comes Marc Márquez then, back into pit lane on the Repsol Honda. Is this the last time we see the Repsol Honda man in action in the 2022 MotoGP World Championship?
Round of applause from his team. Not one of the races that Marc Márquez will remember at the end of his career, but this in many ways is the start of the rest of his career. But now he can head off to the United States and get his arm fixed and hopefully come back stronger.
It was difficult to finish the race, but we finished. Now next week I have the most important race of the season, that is that operation. Let's see if everything goes well and step by step come back.
Marc, it's great to see you. Thanks for taking the time out to come and speak to us. Firstly, how are you? How have the last 10 weeks been? I think we're into week 10 of your recovery now. So yeah, how are you?
Yeah, of course. No, thanks to come to you. Of course, I feel okay. I feel okay. Step by step, I feel better. The most important thing is that the bone is healthy in a good way, and this is the best news for me. Of course, now step by step I start with the rehabilitation, and now I'm going in an easy mode at the moment. It's true that about cardio I'm already working hard to try to improve and to try to be ready. But it's true that in the end of August I have another doctor check, and from that point, if everything is going well, then we can increase a lot our rehabilitation, and we can start to work with more weight and try to grow the muscles. But at the moment it's time to go step by step. It's true that someday I get up better, someday I get up worse, but this is normal in a rehabilitation.
Alberto, we spoke to him in Silverstone. He said the end of August is a really important checkup for you. What's the next step after that? You said build more muscle. What's the training step? What's the next step? We've seen you running and swimming. What's the next stage?
Yeah, now I'm just running and swimming and working in the gym, as you see, with some elastics and with a very low weight in a special machine. Step by step, from last week to this week, we increase a little bit. You go with the strongest elastic, and also you go with a little bit more weight. Next week we will do another step. But it's true that in the end of August will be the 12th week after operation. There is when they will check how is our bone inside, and normally from that point we will do a step. But I don't want to say, because always I'm very optimistic, but I don't want to say anything, because if in that check still we need 2 weeks more, I will wait 2 weeks more, because it's a long time, and now to be too quick on the gym, or too quick on pushing too much, and you know, we need to be step by step, especially because the bone is going in a good way, and it's a long time ago I was waiting for this kind of feelings, and now looks like everything is good.
Of course, we're down in Madrid this time. You've moved here recently from your hometown into Vera. How has life changed now you've moved to Madrid? And obviously this is a fantastic facility as well. How much has that helped?
Yeah, I mean, in the end, the life honestly didn't change a lot, because I'm a guy that I'm living at home, and normally it's like, I think all MotoGP riders is home, running, gym, home, and this is our day. It's true that also we have some circuits around this place, and that are quite nice to train, but at the moment, of course, I didn't use. And yeah, it's true that I miss sometimes my family, my friends, but the good thing is that by train in 2 hours I'm in Lleida already, and we are close. So the most important thing, and is why I did the step, I'm working with a very good team, with Samuel Antuña, that is the doctor that make the third operation, with Joaquin Sanchez Sotelo, that is the doctor that make the fourth operation, and Angel Cotorro, that is the doctor that is taking care about my rehabilitation. So all these things, for that reason I say before, we need to go step by step, and if we need to wait 2 weeks more, I will wait, because I cannot destroy all the work I did or we did during this month.
It's obviously been a physical challenge for you, but the mental side is probably arguably even more difficult. We've seen you obviously sat at home and watching the races. How important is the mental side of things, as well as obviously getting your arm better?
Yeah, it's really difficult about mental side, especially because you are struggling for 2 years, not for 2 months. I mean, are 2 years that I'm struggling a lot. It's true that last year I won some races, even like this, but I was struggling. This year, since the pre-season, again I was struggling, and in Jerez, as I say in Mugello press conference, in between Portimao, Jerez and Jerez test, I say like this I cannot continue, because I was not able to race like I won, and yeah, I mean, was hard, and it's hard now. Mental side, not because I'm not racing, not because the others are racing. It's hard because always you have this doubt that how will be the arm. I mean, I know that I cannot have another operation because the doctors say that will be too risky, maybe. But always, every day, I have this doubt on my mind. I'm convinced that it will be good, but I'm human, and you have this doubt that in 1-2 months I will know that if the arm is okay, and if it's enough to continue racing.
I suppose it's good to have obviously Alex coming back from GPs and training. How much of a motivation has your brother been through, not just obviously since your fourth operation, but throughout the last couple of years? Because it's been really difficult.
Yeah, one of the key points on this moment is my brother, because we are living together. He's training, and now that I come back step by step, I start to train with him about cardio, and you don't forget, because imagine if I was living alone now, I mean, it will be more difficult to go training, because when you have a long period sitting in the sofa, then you become lazy, you know, and every time is more and more difficult. But he's competing, and he's so motivated. So this motivation also is like kind of addiction, and yeah, even like this also, I'm speaking a lot with Santi Hernandez. I'm speaking a lot with my team. Try to take care about the 2023 bike, and in Austria we'll be there because we have important meetings with the Japanese for working for the future, because not only me, also Honda is in a difficult moment, and we are in the same team, and we won together, we lose together, so now it's time to come back in the top together.
I was going to mention Austria, as we're excited to obviously see you there. How much contact have you had with Honda? I know Alex said, I think at the Barcelona test, that you're on the phone to Honda discussing what was going on. It's obviously been a tricky year again for you guys. So how much contact have you made, and how much are you looking forward to stepping back into the paddock for a couple of days? Yeah,
it's true that I was, obviously, I'm speaking with my brother, because he's riding on the bike, and then if he has some doubt, he's asking to me how he can manage with my experience, especially on the electronic side, especially the character of the bike, and but I'm speaking more honestly about the technical side. I'm speaking more with my team, with Santi Hernandez and with Stefan Bradl, because they are testing and they know how I ride. With my brother, we can speak about riding style. But about technical side, of course, we are riding the same bike, and we can speak something. But when I need to work with the bike, I work with my team, with Santi Hernandez, with Stefan Bradl, that he's the test rider and he was testing in Jerez. We speak a lot to try to have the feedback, and like this, because I say to them in Mugello, I will be at home for a long time, but I don't want to disconnect. Like last time I disconnect too much on the third operation, and right now I don't want to disconnect. I want to be involved about everything, because like this, when I will come back, I will have all the information fresh, and it's more difficult to lose the way.
When are you planning on getting back on a bike again? I know a lot depends on the August checkup, but I think everyone is looking forward to seeing you back on a road bike or even a mini bike, and then it sort of starts to become real for you maybe, and also for the fans to get excited again.
Yeah, I heard about Misano test, about I don't know. At the moment, at 26, 27 or 28 of August, I will have a doctor check. There, I hope to have a good news. Of course, I'm optimistic and I hope to have a good news. Since that point, we will start to increase a lot the rehabilitation, especially the weights on the gym, to try to grow the muscles and to try to take more power. And then when I will feel ready to ride a bike, I will ride. When the doctor say to me, the bone is fixed, then you can increase the rehabilitation. I will increase the rehabilitation, always under the eyes of Ángel Cotorro and his physical and his and mine physical trainer. And when I will feel ready doesn't mean 100%. Because to reach this 100%, you need to ride a bike. Because in the end, on the bike, you have a specific muscles. So as soon as I will feel ready to ride a bike in acceptable level, with a safety way and with power and with the muscles working in a good way, I will start riding, because the best way to be at 100% is riding a bike.
Is there a target you've got between now and the end of the year? Obviously, it's important for you and Honda to try and get back on the bike if you're fit enough. Is there a goal in mind, maybe Valencia or the Valencia test, just to have a bit of feedback and riding before the winter break?
Yeah, I would like my main goal and realistic goal, speaking with the doctors, is try to race some race this year. Can be the last two races maybe, or the last race only in Valencia, for try the new bike in the test, and like this give the feedback. But before to ride the bike in the test, in the winter test, in the last test that will be I think only one day, I need to ride one race, because if not, in one day I will not have time to find the feeling, to ride the bike, to understand the bike, to give the good inputs to the Japanese team. And realistic goal is try to ride last race or last two races to get the rhythm. Forget the result, just get the rhythm, get the feedback, to make an important test on after Valencia race, and yeah, this will be the main goal for me.
Hopefully we do see you in the last two races, because that'll be good for everyone, including yourself. You've obviously been watching at home the season so far. How do you see the title race unfolding? Obviously Pecco won last time out, Fabio and Aleix didn't have a great weekend. How do you see the title going from now and Valencia?
Yeah, honestly, this Silverstone race was a really nice race, watching from the sofa. I mean, everybody really close, the pace very similar, and yeah, I mean, was a scary moment with Aleix on Saturday with that heavy high side. I had many in the past, and maybe I will have. You never know. And I know what you feel after this kind of crisis. And yeah, he looks like Pecco is going in a good way. In Austria is also one of his favorite circuits. Misano also is one of his favorite circuits. So Pecco will be and will be one of the main contenders, of course. And between Aleix and Fabio, honestly speaking, Fabio need a help from Yamaha. I saw the race, and I'm a guy that from outside, I don't say that, but he was riding super fast, but fighting against the others with without having speed on the straight is more difficult. And yeah, he's riding in a very good way, alone in the practice, but yeah, if he can lead the race, he's the best guy in the grid now, and he's the fastest guy, but as soon as he needs to fight, it's difficult to overtake. And Alesi with Aprilia, they are, I think is the biggest surprise of the championship, and also now looks like Viñales also riding fast, so Aprilia also increase a lot the level. This about the main contenders for the championship, but it's true that I'm looking more. I need to go far away on the grid, but I'm looking more for our bike, for our team, because we need to do a big step next year. Not only, especially about everything. It's not only change this on the bike. We need to do a big step to be there on the front. We are Honda. We are a Repsol Honda team HRC, and we need to be on the top with the main manufacturers in the world, competing with in the best championship.
You mentioned Repsol Honda, of course. We've got your brother Alex moving to Ducati. How do you see that going? Of course, there's a lot of changes with Jack Miller going to KTM. There's loads of rumours flying around. Joan Mir potentially coming in as your teammate. Paul going back to KTM. Nothing's confirmed yet, of course. How have you seen the silly season, we call it, and your thoughts on Alex to Ducati? Obviously, that's a big move for Alex.
Yeah, of course. With Alex, I'm living with him, and I knew, and I spoke a lot about him, which was his intention for the future, and which was his main target. And looks like now all riders are riding a Honda are struggling, and all the riders are not in a good moment. But maybe it's not the problem of the riders, because Paul he was fast with KTM. I mean, many riders were fast in the past, but it's true that Alex, his motivation for continuing MotoGP was trying to find another bike, another motivation, because it's quite difficult to ride in the MotoGP, struggling a lot, but not only struggling, crashing a lot, and then your motivation and your confidence is going down and down. So next year he will have a great opportunity, and I speak with him, and he said to me, I mean, I will have one of the best bikes of the grid. So I will know if, and he's honest, he say, I will know if I have the level of MotoGP or no. And like this, he will not have his doubt, you know, and this is important.
And just on potentially who your teammate is going to be, we've heard all the rumours about Paul and maybe Mir come in. Obviously, Alex Rins has taken Alex's place as well. What are your thoughts on that potential?
Yeah, I mean, for me, Honda now have a really good riders. I mean, Paul Espargaró finished 4th his last season with KTM in the championship, and he is a world champion of Moto 2. Alex is a world champion of Moto 3 and Moto 2. Nakagami also have many experience in the MotoGP, and he's riding fast, but the results didn't come. Next year we will have Alex Rins, that we saw in Silverstone, that is a really good rider in LCR, and looks like everything say, but I don't know exactly the information, that maybe Joan Mir will be my teammate, and he's a world champion in MotoGP. But for me, honestly speaking, we need to change something in the team, on the bike. We need to have something more competitive to fight in the top. Because if not, you can put the best rider in the world. That we are a team, and to fight for a world championship, you need to have the bike, the rider, and the team, working everybody together, and don't miss the information. And this is something that will be important for the future.
Marc, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it, and hopefully see you in Austria, of course, and then racing hopefully in at least Valencia. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Will Christian, and thank you all so much for watching. I'm here to remind you to hit subscribe for all the latest Supercross news and highlights. And of course, don't forget to sign up for Peacock Premium. That is now the new home for streaming for all live Supercross events all season long.